Let's see what's cooking. It's time for Yo-Yo Max 12.
Here we go, ham and egg breakfast cups. First, you're going to start off with some regular bread. You can use whatever kind of bread you'd like. This is 100% whole wheat that I'm using. And simply slice off the bread crusts. And of course, the number of slices will depend on how many people you're serving. This is actually 6 slices for 2 eggs for each person for 3 people. Then take each slice without the crusts and take a rolling pin and roll them as flat as you can get them. Spray a muffin tin with cooking spray or use butter to grease the baking cups. Then take each slice of bread and press it into the bottom of the muffin tin. Now, because you're dealing with a flat square piece, it's not going to go in very easily, but you'll have to fold in one of the sides in a V shape towards the inside to get it to fit in there. But that's okay if it doesn't fit perfectly. Just get them in there as well as you can and try not to rip the piece of bread as you're doing so. You can see how I fold in one or more of the sides to get the bread piece to fit inside the muffin cup. And once all those pieces are inside the muffin tin, you are going to brush the interiors with a little bit of melted butter. And if you're using 6 like this, you probably use a tablespoon of butter melted. Is plenty, just to brush them, just to give them a little bit of flavor. And then bake them at 375 degrees for 5 to 8 minutes until they are light golden brown. Then you're going to add some ham. Now I'm actually using turkey bacon here. This is what this is, but you can use thinly sliced deli ham. That's what the original recipe asks for. And you could also use partially cooked or fully cooked bacon pieces as well. I wouldn't put raw bacon in here. It wouldn't have a chance to cook enough. Then I'm putting a small piece of cheese in each. The original recipe asks for cheese slices, but I don't like the processed cheese, so I'm using regular cheddar cheese, just a couple of thin slices in each. You can use whatever kind of cheese you'd like, of course, that's completely up to you. And then you're going to crack an egg into each cup. I'm using extra large eggs here, and they have a tendency to run over. They had a tendency to run over the edge a little bit on 1 or 2 of them, just like this one here. But I just cleaned it up. But actually, the majority of them fit right into that muffin cup quite nicely. So it wasn't a big deal. Some of the egg white will run underneath the bread, but that's okay too. Season with some salt and with pepper as desired. And then you're going to bake these at 375 degrees for 14 to 18 minutes. And the recipe says to bake them until the egg whites are barely set and appear slightly moist. Now this is the part that you're going to find is going to come up to what you like and what you don't like. I do not like egg whites that are slimy. I don't like them slimy, so I bake mine 20 minutes to make sure those egg whites were completely set. Once they come out of the oven, you're going to cover it with some tin foil, with some aluminum foil, and then tightly cover it and let it sit for 5 minutes. And the eggs will continue to cook during that time. So even if the egg whites aren't completely set, they will be when you're done letting it sit for 5 minutes. And then uncover and serve. I'm glad I did grease the muffin tins in this particular case because a couple of them did stick a little tiny bit. Not a big deal though, I just loosened it with a spoon and a butter knife and it came out quite nicely. Didn't leave a lot of mess behind in the muffin tins to clean up either. And then you're just going to serve them. You can have 1 or 2 per person depending on what else you're serving with it. These would be excellent for a brunch as well. Now I cooked these until the egg whites looked a little bit dry on the top actually rather than still moist. But like I said, you will make these to whatever you particularly like. If you don't like runny egg yolks and you don't like slimy egg whites, then I suggest you bake them at least 20 minutes and then let them sit for another 5 with the tin foil on them. If you like a little bit of a runnier yolk, then I would take them out a little bit sooner. There's one cut in half. You can see, to me, this is perfect. The egg yolk is just slightly moist, and the egg white is completely cooked. And we very much enjoyed these. Max liked them. My husband liked them. It was a really perfect meal for a lazy Sunday morning when we weren't in a hurry to get breakfast ready, and we enjoyed a nice meal together. There you go, ham and egg breakfast cups. Give them a try.